Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is Mu'taz from the American University of Kurdistan. This video is for my colleagues from the CSS major. We have uh, a midterm exam coming soon, so I decided to make a video solving as many questions as I can, trying to simplify and help uh, making OOP easier. So yeah, I generated some questions from ChatGPT here. As you can see, this is the first question. Uh, by the way, in this video, we're only going to solve questions, and I will show the way I deal with questions personally, how I analyze them and how I solve them. If there is something not clear, please write something in the comment, ask me in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer. Yeah, so we start with this question about bank account class. The problem statement. First of all, we need to read the question first. Uh, we need to read it slowly, trying to make it as clear as possible. Then the last step is writing the code. Don't go and write the code. Make a plan first and then go and write your code. So the problem statement says create a bank account class that has private members, account number, holder name, balance. So these are the private members. We have public methods. Um, we have public methods set data. Okay, so set data takes user input from all attributes. So basically, from this is the requirements. We need to follow the requirements. So set data is a method or a function that takes user input from all attributes. So basically, when we create an object in the main function, we're not sending any data to the set data. So there is no parameters inside the parentheses when we create that function, right? Because it says user input, which means we can use the cin directly within that function when we come to write it. Then we have deposit, uh, simply takes an amount, adds money to the balance. Withdraw deducts money from balance. If sufficient, this is an important thing we need to consider. So we cannot withdraw money that we don't have. Let's say if you have an account and you have $100 and you try to withdraw $200, of course, this is invalid input, let's say. So you need to give the user an error saying insufficient amount. Display is a function that display the account details basically. Example output. So the output will ask enter account number, enter holder name, enter initial balance, um, and enter deposit amount, enter withdraw account details. So basically these are the details. From these details we can tell how the class would look like. Um, yeah. So, okay, let's go and start implement the class step by step. So first of all, we have the name. So this class name is bank account. So we go and we start implementing it. We write class, and then this is the name of the class, and then here's a semicolon. Um, yeah, basically. So we have account number. Let's take the account number. So, okay, account number is let's give it an integer because it's not specified. Um, Holder name, basically the name is a string. Let's just give holder name. Actually, sorry, it's not an integer, it's a string. Um, what else do we have? Balance. So balance will be double because it's a money balance. Okay, so now these are the private methods that we have, as it mentioned, private members. So we can write the word private before them, like this, private. But it wouldn't make difference actually, because if you don't specify, they will be private. Yeah. So these are the data members that we have. Now let's start implementing the methods that we have. So set data, we think of it, okay, this is an important question that we need to ask, and I've seen some students make this mistake. They cannot identify what is the type that the function is going to return. So for example, here set data, it's going to set data here, and there is nothing in the requirements that indicates that this function should return anything. So it's a void function, so it's going to initiate values here inside the class, but it shouldn't return anything. So basically we do void and then set data, and then here inside, um, let's say cout uh, enter account number, okay, and then like the cin account number, okay. Then we go and then we do the couts enter holder name, or just name, make a simple hold enter name, and then we do cin. Oh, here we have to write holder name because it's a variable name, so we need to follow the same exact name that we used. And then we have cout double balance. Actually, no, right? We cannot do this. Some students might do this, but like the balance, we cannot ask the user to enter the balance he wants because it's a bank account. So we enter only these two. So here how we set data, unless if we want to set the balance, if let's say we're the bank and then we want to create the account with the certain balance, then that's a different story. But for now, we enter the name, we enter the name and the actually we can give the balance 0. We make it 0. Uh, balance balance, and then we give it the value 0. Um, yeah. Enter initial balance. Yeah. Okay, so here it says enter initial balance 1000. Okay. Uh, Basically this is the first function that we had. We can go and test it. Let's make the first account that we have. Let's see if the function is working properly or not. What are the name of the class? And then let's say A1, which is account one, basically. Now, let's compile this code. By the way, I'm using here Visual Studio Code uh, in case you're curious to know. Okay, so I created an account and then let's do a1.set data. Let me compile it again because I didn't. Wait, there's an error here. Function that set data is declared at line. It's inaccessible. Ah, okay. So this is an important thing. Look, I forgot to add public here. It's inaccessible because it's a private. Here I wrote the word private. These are private and this one is a private as well. So I need to make it public. So yeah, it's okay to forget, but we need to focus on these details. Okay, see the error went out. Yeah, so let me compile this code again and then let's run it. See, enter the account number. Let's say 123, name, matches. Okay, so nothing happened because uh, I didn't do anything yet, only setting data. Uh, yeah, this is the first thing. Second, so we're done with the set data. We go to deposit. So deposit is a function that is going to receive an amount from the main, and then we add it to the balance. So basically, we go and say deposit. It's a void function, but why it's a void function? Because it's not returning anything, it's just adding a value to the balance. So deposit, and then it will receive amount. The type, the data type is important because the balance is double, so the amount most probably will be double. Um, yeah, so we'll receive an amount, and then here inside, um, we say balance will equal balance plus the amount. But why is that? So here, when we create an object and when we do a1 dot deposit and then we are sending an amount, let's say we're sending $100, okay? So this $100 will become this amount. So this $100 will go and sit inside this variable, and then we want to update the value of balance. So balance will become whatever we had. Let's say we had $5 or $10. So $10 that we had with the new amount that we had from the main, and then we add them and then we store the new value inside the balance. Okay? So this function is working properly, I suppose, but we cannot tell until we do the display function. Um, yeah, so let's not test it now. Let's finish the withdraw and then the display, and then we test all of them together at once. So we have the withdraw. So withdraw deducts money if balance is sufficient. There is an important question here about is sufficient. Yeah, so basically let's go and implement it. The same here, this function is a void function because it's not returning anything. We're just deducting some amount of money from the balance that we have already. So double amount, and then we go inside, we say, here's the important question. We need to check if the amount that the user is trying to deduct from his or her balance is more than the balance that she or he has in the account. This is an important question. So let's say you have $100 in your account and you try to withdraw $200. So let me do it this way. So balance will equal balance minus amount. This is how it should be. It's a simple math. So let's say this is $100. You have already $100 in your account and you're trying to deduct or withdraw $200. So the balance will be minus $100 and there is no minus balance in banks. So first of all, we need to check. We need to check that we have enough money to withdraw and then we withdraw. Okay? So basically, we check if. So if what? If the amount, this is the amount that we are receiving from the main, is less than the balance. Only in this case, let, let this withdrawal happen, okay? Else, otherwise, uh, else, let's give the user a prompt saying that insufficient amount, okay? And line, insufficient amount. Let me make it correct. Insufficient amount. Okay, so this is for the withdrawal, and then we have the last function here is the display. So I display the account details. So okay, let's go and implement it. Uh, display. It's a void function, of course, because we don't just think of if you're confused between the void function and other type of functions. Think of it this way. is there any value that I want to take out from this function? So this function is display. It's only going to display the details or the data. So it has more than one thing to display. So I cannot make it return one thing. So it's basically void. So display, yeah. So display, and then there is no parameters. We don't need any parameters here. So we do cout. Um, what do we have here, Aslan? We have account number. Let me copy paste them to make it quick. Account number, and then account number and line, and then cout uh, balance, and then balance. What do we have else? We have name, cout name, and then here we have it was a holder name. So now we're done with everything. The only one thing left is testing it. Uh, yeah. So here I'm setting data. I'm making an object. So this object has this method that set data. So I'm setting data. So I'm going to ask the user to give account number and holder name, and I am going to initiate the balance 0 at the start. Then I will deposit $100. So here, if I do a1 dot display display, I should see the name that I am going to set here in the set data, and then I'm going to deposit $100. So let me try it and let's see what will happen. So practice, and then okay. So enter the account number. Let's say account number one. Enter the name. Let's say my name, Martez. Okay. So then after that, see here's the cout account number one balance is $100. Name is Martez. I should have put end line here to make it more nice. Uh, Let me do it again so it become clear. Okay, so account number one, the name Martez, and here, as you can see, account number one, balance is $100, name as Martez, as you can see here inside the display function. And with that, we are done with everything. And if we had this question in the exam, we would have getting a full mark. Okay, see you in the next question.